Hello, hello, hello. How are you all today? Get excited. This is The Conversation with Stevie, and I am Dr. Stevie. I am super excited to be here because this is the place behind the what of what people do. I am somebody who helps people to monetize their knowledge and expertise online, and I do that because I know what it is to not be making money in your business. So I wanted to start this show today by telling y'all about one of my favorite people in the world. Oh, my gosh, y'all listen. Dr. Karen is amazing, and she has such a beautiful conference that was just hosted, so you all will hear some of her most amazing speakers who were part of that. I've had fun so far with the ones I've been able to connect with, and I love speaking to visionaries. So, Dr. Karen, how are you?
I am wonderful.
Awesome, awesome. I believe that the greatest introduction one can do is of themselves, so please do go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Absolutely. I am Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. I am known to some as the C-suite career elevation expert. Simply put, I work with female senior leaders or females who want to be senior leaders. And I help demystify the senior leadership role through coaching, through leading people, leading change using technology and analytics. And we also talk about mental, emotional, and physical health.
Love that. Love the work that you're doing. I wish that I would have known you when I was stuck on a job that was not the right one for me. Maybe I still would be in corporate America. But love that because a lot of people don't use their transferable skills to create a business that pays even more bills. So I wanted to just make sure that we know that you can do that, and you are a living, breathing example that you can use what you do corporately to create a business. So please do tell us about that experience and how has that been to be both a boss in the boardroom and in business.
Absolutely. Entrepreneurship is just something that's in my blood. I was an unofficial entrepreneur as a child. I always found a way to make a few coins with my talent. And so I learned very early that people would pay for certain products and certain services. And so whatever talents that I had to offer that could generate a product or a service, I have monetized for probably the last 30-plus years. And since I'm in the people business, because I am in organizational leadership is really my industry, human resources, you need people for almost everything. And so there is plenty of opportunity to monetize anything that has to do with people. And so I chose to coach female senior leaders and entrepreneurs of their business.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And, of course, we got to talk about this conference that was a buzz all across social media, honey. I know that people were doing the daggone thing. I am excited. You definitely were in partnership with so many great and dynamic women. And I want to just hear more about it. So please go ahead and tell us about that.
Yes, thank you. So we are fresh off my first conference, which will be an annual conference. It's the Sister Leaders Conference. It was October 29th to 30th. It's for 2 whole days from 9 a.m. to about 10 p.m., where we poured into women through speeches. We had a number of speakers, about 30 to 40 speakers. We had authors, we had entrepreneurs, and the Sister Leaders community is a global, multi-generational community. They range in age between 25 to around 65. It may even be older because we don't check ID. But we come together with one goal in mind, and that goal is to share our experiences, share our education, and share our resources to create a legacy of competent female leaders And as in the sister leaders community, do not believe that we just want to be at the table. We also believe in retention. And so our goal is to elevate and increase our skills so that we can stay in senior leadership for as long as we want to stay in leadership. So not only is it acquisition of senior leadership, it is retention as well. And so the conference dealt with all of those skills that are involved with running a business for yourself or for someone else, those leading people skills, those leading change skills, using automation, because, of course, we all want to make money while we're sleeping, and then also technology, because you can't really run a business, extremely profitable business without technology. And then we've also branched out into mental, emotional, and physical health, because a lot of times you find that when women reach the pinnacle of their success, they've done it at the detriment of their health. And so we want to focus on our physical, emotional, and mental health as well as we are climbing the ladder to those positions that we aspire to.
Love it, love it, love it. And in such a beautiful space of time right now that we are seeing women come out here and do their things in career and business, and I love that. So I want to ask you really about the most transferable skill that you have used to create a great business. And that's important because I speak to a lot of people who have the same skills that they have in their career, and they could be making money from that. However, they kind of leave their space and their brain and their mindset in the corporate space. And so I want to just talk to you about that, because a lot of people never take the opportunity to do what you've done.
Well, I would say that I use a bundle of skills, and it's 3 in particular, and I bundle them, and I call them professional equity. And I utilize my ability to cultivate relationships up and down the chain of command as well as after 5. I also use it in terms of my area expertise. So it's relationships, it's expertise, and then it's also my ability to relationships, expertise, and I just had a brain fart, but hold on, it'll come back to me. It happens all the time. But professional equity has 3 prongs. Relationships, which is getting along with people, customers, vendors, and then it's an area expertise, because when you have to specialize in something, you have to be known for the results that you actually generate. And then the 3rd prong is reputation. You know, you have to be not only known for something, but that something has to be consistent and it has to be credible. And so instead of one particular skill, I concentrate on the bundle of the 3: relationships, reputation, and expertise, and I call them professional equity. And anyone who knows how to build relationships, who has a reputation for generating results, and has a specialty can take that from corporate America and monetize it.
Yes, and amen. And the other thing I wanted to ask you, getting back to the conference, is how did it feel to be hosting such a great conference for your very first time?
Oh, it was awesome, but it was the 2 days was a result of about almost a year's worth of work. And so the bulk of the time was put in the planning. The implementation took 2 days, but the planning took between 8 and 10 months. And so I stress to everybody, including my coaching clients, that if you spend enough time in the planning, then your implementation will go smoothly. And so I'm very proud that I spent as much time as I did in the planning phase that allowed for such a smooth execution of the 2 days of the conference. And I did it in a collaborative effort, because I don't believe one can do anything singular and a massive scale such as a conference. And so I brought on the subject matter experts to help me. And then I had a whole lot of other partners who spoke, who sold their products and services, who were vendors, sponsors, and ambassadors, who helped me promote the conference, because I believe in collaboration, and I'm almost allergic to competition.
I love it, yes. My favorite hashtag is connect, collaborate, change, cash out. So I definitely agree that we can do more together, specifically because we don't have to be skilled and gifted at everything. When we are able to just take what we have and what we do and make it happen in a greater way, then we can do grand things together. So the one thing I want to ask you before we leave, because our time is going quickly, I want to ask you about the question of the day, which I ask every guest who comes to the conversations, a fill-in-the-blank question. Dr. Stevie, we cannot leave the conversation today without everybody knowing, and fill in the blank.
So you want me to fill in the blank answer that? So we can't leave the conversation today without everybody knowing that they have some type of talent to monetize. It's up to you to figure out what it is, cultivate it, and then monetize it.
Love that, yes. And so what is your contact information so we all can stay connected?
Sure. You can find me on all social media under Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. I also have a Facebook community called Sister Leaders Community. You can find that community on Facebook, and we would love to have anyone who's interested. We also have men in the community because we also believe that male ambassadors are needed here in the marketplace, because sometimes men need to speak up the names of women in those rooms that we just have not made it there yet. And so if you're male or female, join the Sister Leaders community.
And I have one more question that I will ask you before we go, and that literally is, during the pandemic, how have you grown the most?
I've grown in terms of relationships, staying connected to people, although I was not able to physically be connected for probably for over a year because of the pandemic, but staying connected virtually. I learned how to elevate my connections through virtual relationships, cultivating those virtual relationships, reaching out through direct messaging and telephone calls.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. So y'all definitely go connect with Dr. Karen. She is on the move. She is leading by example for all of us sisters everywhere, and she's such a great person. I've been able to really spend time and share space with Dr. Karen. So, Dr. Karen, thank you so much for coming on by to have a conversation with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yay. Everybody, if you want to stay connected with me, just know how to spell my first name, Stevii. If you could go to workwithstevie.com. Again, workwithstevie.com. And I always end everything I do the same way, so today is no different. I want to tell you to make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, all of you, too, have the power to do so. But for now, thank you so much.